Hello everybody, Iain Robson here for another episode of Westbridge Hills. Alright, what do we got going on today? First of all, what do we got going on? We got this guy right here. So we have enough money to buy this field right here. This is field number 15, which is just north of the biogas plant, or northeast I should say. So I'm going to go ahead and buy this little field right here. I think it's $290,000. I'm going to go ahead and buy that. And I already have our T8 here ready to go. So I'm going to get this guy starting on seeding because it's a fairly large field. I imagine it's going to take a little bit of time. So we're going to get this guy started. We could actually upgrade this seeder to the bigger one, actually. What? This is the biggest one. This is 9 meters. And I don't know how fast this works, though. That's my only concern, because I think this runs probably twice as fast as this one, but it has, what is it, 6 versus 9. So it's got 3 meters on it. It only needs, how much does it need? I think it only said 180. Wow, that's not very much. Well, what we can do is we can always, if we have enough money to buy it, we can just buy both. Well, buy it and then just keep this one around here for the time being. So we can use this one. So this tractor's got 320 horsepower. So the other seeder should be fine to use. We'll see. Let's just park this guy over here. I was going to use this one, but then I'm kind of curious about the big one, and that's actually one from the titanium pack back in the day. So that was a terrible job. There we go. Perfect. Or as perfect as it's going to get. What we could do is actually we could trade out for the other T8, but it'll be fine. So let's go ahead and just grab that. I'm kind of curious. And let's just reset it. Perfect. Now this says it only needs 180 horsepower, so this tractor should be fine to pull it still, I would suspect. Let's take a quick look at this. Oh, not too bad. Maestro, 12.75 SW. That looks fairly nice. Strangely enough, this is the first time where I've ever recorded Farm Sim in windowed mode, because you weren't able to do this before. Well, there was a Windows mode for Farm Sim, but it was not like a full screen Windows mode, and that was a bit annoying. Whereas this time around it actually is a full screen Windows mode. So let me know if there's any choppiness or anything like that. I'm just kind of curious about whether or not it's going to be a problem or not, because then I can just switch it back to full screen if it is going to be a problem. Alright. So as some of you are probably aware, there is an Animal HUD mod out, and I have it already. This is Animal HUD from the main website. It's in French, I don't know why. But it says poule, which is for chickens, and it also says vache, which is for cows. So, as you can see, it gives us information about our cows, saying how they're doing and whatnot. Alright, let's get this guy rolling here. Ooh, looks good. Now, I'll be curious to see how fast this goes. That's what I'm really curious about. Let's just line this up a bit better. There we go. Perfect. And we'll hire a worker, get this guy rolling. Oh, 20 kilometers? Actually, that's about the same speed as the other one, so hey, that's not bad at all. Might have problems at the top of the hill, but oh well. Alright, so what else we got going on? Let's grab the other T8 here. Oops, we don't want to. We just want to lift it up. As you can see, I changed over from the Widerstadt to the Lemken. Main reason why, check this out. So see, if I go over here, get out of there. If I go over here, you can see how when it turns around, it actually gets everything as opposed to the Widerstadt. The Widerstadt wasn't quite wide enough, so it was actually missing stuff. This one, because it's got a long drawbar on it, and because it allows for a wider turning radius, this has been really good for making sure everything has been cultivated, so that's been nice. The reason why I was cultivating this originally was because I was going to plant corn here, and then I realized I was going to do that, but I might as well just finish the job now. Let's do this. So originally, like I said, it was because I was going to plant corn here, and then I realized I could plant corn over there. And the other advantage of planting corn there is it'll actually be a better, it'll be better for planting or trekking corn back to the biogas plant, primarily because it's right there. If we were to plant here, the problem we'd run into is the fact that we'd have to go up the hill every single time. Or, well, I guess it wouldn't be too bad. We still can. It is possible. Oops. There we go. Turned it off there for a second. Yeah, so it is still possible. That's definitely one of those things you can do later on. It's funny, I guess they kept the same graphic for, or the same particle effect for all of the cultivators, which is not that surprising, I guess. Because I guess a lot of them have these discs on the front here like this, so they kept it similar. Although the plowing one, as far as I know, is very different. So as you can see, when I turn around like that, it's good because it gets everything, even with a hard worker, which is really nice. Which is one of the reasons why I wasn't sure, and I just wanted to try out the Lemkin. This one, the Lemkin Gigant, is actually the same one from the old game, 2013. They had the same one, which was really one of my favorite cultivators. Although that one allowed you to make fields, where this one does not. So I can live with it. It's fine. Excellent. Last pass here, and then we'll move on to the next thing, I guess, we have to do. I picked up a few more cows. We have 100 cows now. Before we only had, I think it was 90, but now we have 100, so that's a nice little small, well, medium size, maybe, dairy farm, depending on who you're talking to, I suppose. Some people will probably think that is large. Some people probably think that's small. It really depends. This is the folding mechanic of this one. The old one used to take forever to fold up. This has got a nice smooth motion to it. And I believe it's 9 meters, I think is how much it is. So it works really well for that, that's for sure. Also, I brought the truck. It's just standing by the job board over there in case any jobs should show themselves. Let's just check on our... Yeah, so we definitely need to plant barley and maybe canola as well. Barley and canola. Now the funny thing is, for the bigger planters or seeders, where am I going to put this? For the bigger planters, you actually need to cultivate first, which is kind of funny. So it probably makes sense that we got this. I guess we could. We need a bigger tractor though if we want to get the other one. Let's just check actually. For the bigger seeder, this one, you need 320, and I'm fairly certain that 400 would be enough, but it might be a little slow. It's funny, they give you the option of these big tractors, but you don't really, there's no particular reason to use them. Like, I guess the only thing you'd really use them for is a seeder, or there's this one cultivator, I guess, and that's 10 meters and this is 12. That's the only real reason. There's no other reason in the game, I don't think, to actually use the big ones. Or I guess the plow would be the other big reason if you were to plow a lot. Alright, let's park this in here, and then we'll grab the seeder. What we can do actually is, what we'll do is quickly is just check to see whether or not there is a mission. No slice, no. There is a mission, but not one we're looking for, so we won't be. We could buy the seeder probably, but we wouldn't be able to get the big tractor with it, because I want to get a big tractor just to use it with it. For now, we'll stick with these Vader stats, because they are fantastic. What did I say we needed? Barley? Yes. So let's plant barley in the big field. And we'll go from there. Yeah, it's kind of funny. After you get to a certain point in the game, you do start to have a certain level of automation, I suppose is the word that comes to mind. I wouldn't say it's like... I wouldn't say it's everything's automated. You can't do that at this point, especially without Courseplay being up and running 100%. I know some people have said they have Courseplay, and it does work for them, and other people have had problems, so... It goes both ways, I suppose. Mixed, what would be the way to say it? Mixed reactions. Some people saying yes, some people saying no. It's all good. It's still early. Alright, let's get barley rolling on this field here. And, oops, not what I want to do. We want to go to this guy. So, I have this guy with the bucket just tipped over right here. It's got silage in it at the moment. Because, of course, it only runs at 8 o'clock at night, 8 o'clock in the morning, so at this time it's not running. But, if you notice, we have taken a pretty big chunk out of our silo right here, and we're only running it at 100%, and we can actually increase the productivity there. Also, I put a little bit of slurry in our our tank over here, which has increased our bonus, I believe. Yes, increased our manure bonus to 88%, which is cool. It does increase the amount of power we can produce too, from what it looks like. And the more power you produce, basically, the more money you make. So I could increase the feeding rate, theoretically, to 150%, I believe is the maximum. And then you do make more money per... tick, I don't know what you can call it. Per time you get money, I guess. But you do have to fill it up more during that 1 hour. So that's something to consider. So because of that, I want to try and get some more silage in here. I think we're okay for silage over here. We do need to make some more hay bales though. Getting a little low. I don't know how this happened. I don't know how they are staying on that edge right there, but they are somehow. So I have seen the Big M come out actually. I've seen a few mods, the Big M mower from 2013, which looks fairly decent. Yes, we should probably do this. Alright, let's grab our... Which one is I'm looking for? New Holland T. Oh, they're both working, so I can't do what I want to do right now. Let's check the Crone, actually. So this guy is ready to go. I upgraded to the new version of Drive Control, and this one has a few extra things. If you look in the bottom right-hand corner, it has the hours now there as well. And also there's a parking brake as well. I actually had to go into the actual file itself to find out how to use the parking brake, or what was the key in order to actually enable the parking brake or disable the parking brake. And I found out it was control and space is what enables or disables your parking brake. So for those people who are wondering, that's what it is. So I'm just gonna get this guy set up here. We don't need to do this right yet, but we will need to do it momentarily. Where's the T4? So let's fire this guy up here. I'm just going to top off our cows, give them a little bit of silage. They don't need silage right now because they're at 100% productivity. But what's happened a couple times is I have not been paying attention to the cows, and we have not gotten a full I don't know. Haven't got very much productivity, so because of that, we will need. I'm just going to give them some silage. Also, this is bothering me because this isn't full right here. So, should we run out of silage for whatever reason, that will hopefully keep the productivity up. Also, what we're going to do is we're going to sell this T4 and use something else. Let's use a T6. Actually, I don't need to sell it per se, but we're just going to leave it over here. I think we have enough money for the T6, the other front loader. Where are we here? T6. Yes, we do. Perfect. So this is 160 horsepower, also a front loader, and I don't think there's any other bigger tractors that are front loaders. No. So to go ahead and get the T6, or the T6. Yeah, the T6. Finally, a lot of people are like, Ian, you should get the T6, so very true, and there we go, we finally got it. So this is the T6. Doesn't look very much different than the T4. Same idea, basically. And you can put the, I believe you can put the front loader attachment on this as well. This seems a bit wider, actually. It's got the front, PTO attachment there. I don't think you can actually change any of that kind of stuff on here, but hopefully this will be a bit better removing that silage, because that silage moving with a small tractor is terrible. That tractor does not stick to the ground very much. Even with the weight on the back, it does, well, it does stick to the ground a little bit, but not a lot. It is a little bit on the light side, so hopefully this will make a big difference in terms of dealing with that. We'll see. We shall see. Also, the other reason why I want to get some more silage is because I want to increase the feeding rate, and then hopefully by having some more silage there, we'll be able to feed the BGA as best as possible with the extra amount of silage we'll have, hopefully. Alright. I believe I should be able to hook up to this, I think. Yes, I thought so. And let's grab the rear weight, because I'm sure we're going to need it regardless as to whether we're using this tractor or the other one. Let's just compare the size here quickly for a second. So that is a 75 horsepower tractor, and this is a 160 horsepower tractor. Yeah. Well, they did some good scaling there. Looks very similar. What's that right there? I guess that's for the hydraulics, that little box right there. Anyways. Alright, let's grab some more silage. We're going to top off the silage or do as best we can. Because we do want to keep our cows happy. They're happy for the time being, but... oh yeah, that makes a huge difference. Holy cow. I suppose I could have used the telehandle over there. That would have worked as well, I guess. But for whatever reason, this seemed like it was a better choice. Don't know why. Also, I just want to try out the T6 to see what the difference was between this one and the T4. Not a big difference, I imagine, but just enough to be curious about it and want to try it out, I guess. Also, we've been using quite a bit of solid manure in our BGA, which has been giving us a bonus, but it has also been using it up, which is good because it's better than having it just sit there and not being used all the time. Because, you know, you don't make any money from that, but you do with the BGA, so. Alright, let's do this. Perfect. Well, wasn't my intention to go over there, but whatever. It's funny, I was watching the Funky Farmer the other day, and he was bringing his cows in for the season, his dairy cows in for the season there. And his cows were really excited to come in because it was like outside in the pasture there's not very much green grass, not very much grass to eat, not very much good grass, but he has silage ready to go, or silage bales that have been unwrapped and whatnot for the cows. So the cows basically like rushed in to get to the side. Well, as much as a cow is going to rush in, it was pretty funny to watch actually. Because the cows are all coming in and they're like, oh, look at that. What's that? What do you got there? Just turned out to be a silage bale, basically. Also, we should be able to use this. Someone said, where is it? Let's just detach that and move forward for a second. Someone said that the high hitch is actually, what the difference is having the high hitch and the low hitch. The big difference is you connect above the PTO or below the PTO, and it's, I guess it's an intended thing. Oops, totally ran into that tractor. It's like an intended thing, so it's meant to be that way from what it seems like, and it's like that in real life. So see, here's an example of it. So see how it's connected to that top little spot there, and the PTO goes underneath. Now the difference would be I don't know if we have anything else that maybe this one right here. Maybe the tedder. So the tedder would be an example of, I should be at least the low hitch, if I lined up properly. Oh my goodness, just look behind you. There you go. Yeah. Nope, that's a high hitch too. But this will be a good tractor to have then, I guess, because it has the horsepower. Anyways, but yeah, the high hitch is basically the differences between where the PTO is and where the actual connects to. I didn't realize that was the reason, that was the purpose behind it, when it was an intended thing, so it is good to know. You can get around it, of course, with using the weight on the back, but not necessary. How's our T4 doing? or T4. This guy. Well, he's making good progress. What about the other guy? He's doing a pretty good job. Well, actually, he's done quite a bit. That's excellent. I thought he would be not that far, but he is doing a really good job. And he's not missing anything either, which is nice. I guess he's got a good enough turning circle for this particular implement. That's always the problem you run into, is that you run into a situation where... Nope, don't want those. A situation where the turning circle isn't quite as nice as you would like, but it happens. So, we are planting field 17 at the moment. 16 is not being planted. Actually, we could... now that we have this T6, where's the T6? I guess it would be the other button now? Yes. We could actually use this tractor to plant the other field now. Because... Oh, what's going on there? It's missing little spots. I wonder why that is. That's a bit annoying. What if it's a collision thing with the actual implement itself? Because that definitely should not be happening. I wonder. It should be planting all of it, but I think what's happening is this once it's going over the hill. Whoa, you can see, look at that right there. I don't know if you guys can see that or not in the picture, but here, I'll walk on it and you'll be able to see. Look at that. Jeez, what's going on there? Someone didn't do some smoothing, it looks like. Oh well. Or maybe it's supposed to be like that, I don't know. But, yeah, it's kind of interesting, actually. Anyways, let's get this other field started. What should we plant this field in? I think we had... What do we actually need? Corn we're good on still, which is excellent. Barley's in the big field. We'll do maybe canola on this small field, because I think we did wheat here before. Yeah. Oh, yeah. So let's plant wheat here. I like this tractor. This is a nice size. I don't know why, but this seems like a nice sized tractor. In comparison to some other ones, at least. But it looks really nice. Alright, so let's get this guy set up here. With that guy right there. Probably don't need the front loader, but we're going to leave it on anyways, because it's more of a pain to take it off. There we go. Perfect. What do we say? Canola here? Nice. Alright, so the thing I will do is I will set this guy up, get him ready to go. Oops, I don't want grass. I want canola. I meant to hit X. I'll get this guy set up doing this, and I think what we'll do is next episode we'll come back and do maybe a silage, or well, we'll have lots of options basically at that point in time. Maybe what I'll do is I'll wait to see if we can get a great demand, or not a great demand, but one of these missions over here, and get some of the bigger cedars. We'll see. Anyways, folks, I think I'll stop it there for the time being. My name's Iain Robson. This has been Farming Simulator 2015, coming at you from Westbridge Hills. Catch you guys later.